we are Journals Out Loud.
I've been out there wandering.
Yes, we are Journals Out Loud. I'm your lovely and captivating host here with a panel of wise and wonderful teenagers. I did not have my headphones on. I was captivated for a moment by our new mugs. These are our new mugs. And I took a photo of the mug, and so it was a mug shot. And I silently amused myself and forgot to put my headphones on. It happens. I'm so frequently amusing. You can relate, right, guest Brandy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So we have our very special guest with us, Brandie Posey. Give it up for her.
Oh.
And you can find her on Twitter and Instagram as Brandazzle.
Mm-hmm.
You're the only Brandazzle out there.
I am.
Right?
Unique.
And you're kind of positioning yourself for your own line of clothing and or accessories.
Or scent or doggy bags or whatever people want to buy from me.
And
I will sell out so quickly.
And you're positioning yourself to become a verb, almost tonight.
Yeah.
Oh my God, let's Brandazzle that.
Yeah.
Or we should really Brandazzle tonight.
Putting the branding in Brandazzle. That's what I'm trying to do over here.
And you're doing it so well.
Thank you.
So we're here with a panel of wise and wonderful teens. We have Victoria, we have Joshua, and we have Mozart.
That's me.
Yes. And we're going to catch up with the kids a little bit because these kids are they're involved. They're very scheduled children. They've got a lot going on and a lot to report. You'll see Victoria on Facebook. She's like, I'm on the red carpet, and it's that, and it's just like other kids are like, I'm on the couch, Netflix, and but this one, she's like, so what? We saw you at the barbershop premiere.
Yeah.
What the heck else? What? Let's start with the barbershop.
Okay. Well, we were invited by my mom. She's friends with the kid who plays Ice Cube's son's mom. That's really
That's the
long
same
list.
way that I know Kevin Bacon. The same connection?
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Just kidding. I don't know Kevin Bacon at all. But if I did, it would be like that.
Well,
The son of someone's barbershop mom. Yeah. No, it was really good. Go ahead.
But so we went and we had fun. We first went to the meet and greet, and then we went to the actual premiere. The movie is really good.
Did they pay you to say that?
No. And then, so after we did that, I had auditions in between there and some shooting. I did a PSA. Mm-hmm. It's going to be one of those theater, that flashes
Hey
paper
kids,
theater.
turn off your cell phone.
Not like that.
Nobody would ever fund that.
No.
It's too unrealistic.
All right, so let's hear a line from the PSA.
Well, there is no words. It was a silent PSA.
What's it about?
It's about bullying.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you the bully, or are you just
No.
the kid that everyone wants to be?
Well, okay, so there's all these kids in a hallway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're each of them are representing a different kid. So I'm representing a kid that feels like they are like me. Mm-hmm. And other kids are representing other kids. Mm-hmm. So there, it's really very silent. It has a good meaning behind it. Mm-hmm. So hopefully you guys will see that.
I know, and then I'm gonna stand up in the theater and scream, "That's Victoria! Don't bully."
I know her.
It's anti-bullying, right? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's anti-bullying.
It's
not bully people.
I know it was a pro-bully PSA, which probably also exists. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, just want to make sure.
This one was anti, so that's exciting.
Cool.
And I did a short film a while back, but we're going to go back and do some audio for that. And then I'm going to do another short film after that. And
so you've just been really, really, really busy.
Yeah.
Okay, yay. So Mozart, you just got back from Carnegie Hall.
I did. I spent 4 days in New York City, and I had so much fun. I went there with one of my good friends, and we are in a choir together. Mm-hmm. And our choir performed at Carnegie Hall for the second time. I was not there the first time, but this was my first time performing at Carnegie Hall, and I got this super cool shirt. Yeah.
Nice.
You did really well.
Yeah.
That's exactly why anyone should go anywhere to get a shirt.
Yeah. There was a shirt that said future Carnegie Hall something or other. I'm like, I can't get that because like I already did it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I did it already.
Bucket list. Checked.
Awkward.
But that was so much fun, and I had such a blast.
So aren't these wonderful, talented kids? And Josh, what have you been up to?
Oh man. Okay, so it's been a crazy 2 weeks for me. I finally finished my move.
If only that had like another syllable. I finally finished my movie.
Movie? No, just kidding.
Never
Move.
mind.
I moved.
You moved. That's
I've been
exciting.
moving, and then I wasn't here last week because I was actually at the Capitol with legislators, and I was talking to them about foster care issues, and I was shadowing them and just really sharing with them what's going on with the current system, and just making connections up there, and possibly being a politician in the future. I don't know. They asked me if I was interested, so I was like, okay, maybe. I
Could
don't
you
know.
maybe get in time to run for president this year?
I was literally about to say that, like Josh, not Trump.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, I'm already like I was sharing with you earlier this week too. I'm also running for a role at PBS, and it's the foster youth director there. They're opening a whole new department underneath there, and I would be running the whole department. So it'd be interesting.
That is
Cool.
a lot
Be
of
one of the
exciting
youngest
stuff.
executives ever to be at PBS. So
Nice.
That would be really exciting.
yeah.
Sounds more fulfilling than president too. So
Probably.
maybe start there.
Yeah. You get to meet Ken Burns and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You get to meet Big Bird, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, they're on HBO now. I
Oh.
forgot about that.
Yeah, they got rid of him.
So, Brandy,
Yeah.
tell us about you. What kind of a kid were you?
Well, the pressure is on because you guys do way too much. No, I'm from Maryland originally. I was in marching band. I was president of my marching band.
Sweet.
Played French horn since I was in 4th grade, because I like wanted to. When I remember being in 4th grade and like hearing the Peter and the Wolf like soundtrack, and I was like, which one's the wolf? That's what I want to be. And then I didn't even know what the instrument looked like until my first class, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I just like had like scholarships for it and stuff. Played French horn forever. Still can bust it out when I need to.
Nice.
Played softball forever. Was always in like writing comedy sketches with my friends and stuff like that. I don't know.
Were you always funny?
Yeah.
When did you
Always.
first know that you were funny?
When do you realize that you're breathing for the first time? I don't know. I don't know. I just like I was always funny. Like it isn't like a conscious thing. It's just something that just how I talk, how I am.
Is it how your whole family is?
No, no one else in my family is really like they're funny. They're not intentionally funny though. I mean, they're more serious. I mean, I come from like I'm like 2nd or 3rd generation from Europe immigrants, and my grandparents like fought in World War II and then had a farm, and that was hard. And then my dad like built a business for himself out of nowhere. So it's like I'm the one that gets to be actually funny.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have like a field to plow or anything.
No,
So there was
no,
time
no.
for it.
No.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotcha. But did they appreciate your humor?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, like they don't understand it, but they appreciate it. They know it pays the bills. So they're like, okay, she's doing something right and somebody likes her. It's fine.
So when did comedy start paying a bill?
Maybe 2 or 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago.
And how much time had you put in at that point?
I've been doing comedy for about 8 years, just over 8 years now. So about 5.5.
Yeah,
years
that's
in.
the-
That's about right.
Yeah, you got to put pedal to the metal for those 5 years, though, right?
Oh yeah, you got to hustle. You do your thing. I'm always running at least 3 or 4 shows around Los Angeles at any given time. I tour, and then I was producing all my own tours for a while, and now I have a little bit of help with that sometimes. So, yeah, I mean, you really you create the space that you want to see in the world when you want to be a comic, especially now, because with 2009, Twitter and an economic crisis means everyone's a comedian. So,
Wow, that's an interesting thought.
yeah,
Yeah, scarily accurate.
mm-hmm.
But I like the way you said create the space that you want to see in the world, because
Yeah.
I think that applies to pretty much everyone.
Oh yeah, like no
And-
one's gonna fight harder for you than you're gonna fight for yourself, and the earlier you learn that, you stop making excuses. The sooner you get to what you want to be.
You just do it. Well, we have prepared a
Mhm.
clip.
Okay.
And what I wanted to say before, that we never tell the guest about the clip. It's
Okay.
just whatever the internet would find about you is what we're going to show. And what I love about this clip is it's kind of framed exactly like most stand-up comedy performances are framed,
Okay.
which is where they haven't repositioned the camera or even like kept it from tilting after some comic kicked it.
Oh,
Sort of.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's that. But it's you being hilarious. And so,
cool.
Matt, could you please roll the clip?
I met a kid. I don't want kids, but I met a kid that I feel like we should all have. I met a 5-year-old. The most confident child I've ever met in my entire life. This kid was holding both of his parents' hands in line, like this. Just squeezing them with like all of the excitement he couldn't contain in his body. And he just goes, I need 5 things today! And then he proceeded to list sword, scabbard, helmet, chainmail, horse! How many times has this kid seen Glengarry Glen Ross? Holy shit! Just threw that last one out there just to close the deal, and I was like, oh my god, can I steal? Like, I've never wanted to kidnap a child, but I wanted to kidnap that child. Because the last time that I asked for a raise, I started crying. And I was like, fuck, man, I need this kid to come into an office with me and be like, she's gonna need 5 things. She needs equal pay, maternity leave, an end to rape culture, unquestionable reproductive rights, and a horse. And I think that's feminism.
So I probably should have mentioned that you were at medieval times when you saw the child.
I was going to say, the kid was at medieval times. It wasn't just a weird kid yelling about horses.
But that kid sounds awesome.
Oh, man. Yeah, I watched it happen, and I was like, oh, my God.
Wow, he's so specific.
Yeah, I was like, just like the will with which he asked for all of those things, as if it's all going to happen for me today. And I
It's
was
like he had done some research online.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like-
where are we going and what will I be
Mhm.
needing?
I'm like, your parents already took you to Buena Park. Isn't that enough?
Yeah. That's where.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they have medieval times is all over the world?
They at least all
yeah.
over the country, yeah.
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 So what happened? I've never been, but apparently there's jousting and a lot of bodices.
Yeah, it's hilarious. There's jousting. It's there's like a king. There's a king and there's like his daughter, and then there's like a bad knight, and there's a bunch of good knights, and they're trying to like fight for her. And then my favorite thing, halfway through, there's like a jester that will like read all the birthdays and anniversaries and stuff. And sometimes it goes on for like 15 minutes. And after the first 30 seconds, no one is clapping. So it's just them being like, Meryl and Davis have been married for 50 years. Crickets. And that will happen while you're eating chicken for like, it hits a very special dark place in my heart.
And isn't your waitress your serving wench?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. She's your wench.
Are there any other fun names, things that they've titled things?
There's a falconer, which is pretty
Ah.
cool. There's a falconer. They have a falcon that'll like do tricks during the show.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just like swoop over your food, and you're like, how well trained is this falcon? I don't trust him right now. It's really fun though. I love medieval times.
We should all just have a field trip and go.
Yeah, live from medieval times.
Yeah, we should take
Like
the
vlog
cameras and
about it.
everything.
It'd be funny to
yeah.
have
We
like
have
a-
the costumes just sitting live.
That'd be great.
We need 5 things.
Yeah, 5 things. I wonder what like the typical medieval teenager faced. Like what was her struggle?
Dental.
Plague.
Plague. Dental.
All right. Well, let's address. I do want to say these things about Brandy because
Okay.
she does host her own podcast, so
I
she's
do.
not a stranger to the world of podcasting.
Nope.
And tell us a little bit about your podcast.
I have a podcast called Lady to Lady. It's on the Maximum Fun Podcast Network with Barbara Gray and Tess Barker, and it's me and those 2 gals. And then every week we have a 4th female comic on, and we just kind of riff and BS and just kind of like hang out. And it's just like the best brunch conversation that you're invited to, basically.
Is there
and-
food?
Yeah, no, but it just like feels like you're at brunch. It's like there, we aren't drinking mimosas, but it feels like we are
Yeah.
all the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
And it's just like kind of our way of being like, answering the question, are women funny? Not by ever actually talking about the question, but by just being funny
I
and
like
being
it.
like, oh, did you not think we were? Here's 170 episodes that prove otherwise.
There
Sorry
you go.
about it.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well-
it's a great show. We've had like Margaret Cho has been on, Aisha Tyler. We've had like some pretty big names on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Everyone check it out.
Yeah, please do.
And you have a new comedy album called Opinion Cave.
Yes, I do.
Available now on iTunes.
Mm-hmm. iTunes, Amazon, wherever you buy your comedy albums from, or stream them. Wherever you stream them, it's there.
Medieval Times joke is there.
No, that's a new joke.
Oh wow.
It's a new joke. All unheard things that you guys haven't heard.
Now, this last thing about you, that's one of the important bullet points about you, is that you have a dinosaur painted on the side of your car.
I do.
Did you bring a visual?
She brought the car.
The car's outside.
Let's take the camera.
Erin, can you go outside and take a picture of the dinosaur on her car?
It's the one that's across the street. It's the dinosaur that's
It's the
across
one with a
street.
dinosaur on
Okay.
it.
Wait, Aaron
not
has a picture?
Not the other one.
He'll go get it. Yeah.
I have a picture.
It's
All
the
right.
T-Rex. Did you take
See,
one?
this is a show where we just make stuff happen because I actually order people around to do my
Boom.
bidding.
Were
Right?
you? Are you a secret 5-year-old? Is that what's happening right now?
It turns out. All right. So questions from teenagers, actual teenagers. Anonymous writes, what do you do when the guy you used to like now likes you, but he is also one of your best friends and you don't want to hurt his feelings? This is like a typical question about just growing up around. It's like any episode of Friends. Any of them could have been liking any of them in that given episode, right?
Mhm.
We were on a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
But your thoughts, Brandy?
I mean, it'll be fine. Crushes are great. All kids are more resilient than they think they are. You're gonna have a million crushes in your life. If he has a crush on you, just be like, "Hey, sorry, I'm not interested," and then just be friends. And if he can't be friends with you, then he wasn't a good friend anyway.
Yeah, and if he may need to step away because he doesn't want to hear you talk about other boys or what have you, and give him that respect he gets to.
Yeah, that's definitely a point. Like, I mean, don't like talk about people that you do have a crush on. Like, have some respect for his feelings, but understand what's off the table and what's on the table to talk to him about. If you're not into him, also make sure that you're not, going after attention then pulling away from him in any way.
Yeah, or teasing him or just wanting him to love you without any obligation on your part to love him in return, because that's just using people. Do we have the picture of the dinosaur?
Maybe set him up with some of your friends too.
Yeah. That's also good. I think we had a kid on the show who called that the handoff.
Yeah.
Brady was like, always like,
Oh my
"Yeah, you
gosh.
can-" All right, so we're going to cut to, oh, wow, look at that. Can we see?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's it.
So explain this.
So it's actually Abe Lincoln fighting a T-Rex in space is what it really is.
Oh, because that could happen.
Yeah, why not?
Just so space is prepared for it in case it
years
happens.
ago.
And who did this artwork and why?
Is a guy named Raul Gonzalez. He's a part of the Ultraviolet Social Club. He's a Boyle Heights artist. And we were working together for a charity called Art Share LA that basically creates after-school art programs for kids in like South Central and like downtown LA. So they have something to do after school basically. And we wanted to do like a cool big event. And I was like, I always want to get my car painted. He was like, really? Because Raul does amazing murals in like Boyle Heights and like the Arts District downtown. And he was like, I'll paint your car. I was like, all right. He's like, what do you want? So I gave him a list of like 10 things that I liked. And on that list was like Abe Lincoln, fire, space, dinosaurs, Brendan Fraser. I was just like, here's a bunch of stuff. Do with that list what you will.
Yeah.
So then you put it together and you got Abe Lincoln fighting a T-Rex
You know
in
what
space.
I love so much about it? Brandy?
Yeah.
I love that it's on a car and not on your body.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well,
That's what everyone should do.
honestly, because like I used to want tattoos and I got it done and I was like, this is great. This is enough. This will take care of it for now. The urge might come back, but
Takes
for now,
the edge off.
It definitely takes the edge off. Takes the edge off. Plus, it's great because like people are nicer to you when you drive in traffic because they want to see it, so they
I
let you in
guess.
front of them.
I guess.
I mean, little kids
Huh.
lose their minds.
Right?
It's so funny. I like a couple weeks ago, I had like a car pull up next to me, and there was this toddler in the back seat that was like screaming at his mom. You could just see it, and then he like looked over and he just like stopped. And his mom was like, "What just happened?" What? And she looked over and she saw my car too, and they both just like looked at each other and smiled. And I was like, "Broke up your fight. You're welcome." Thank you.
I want 5 things.
Yeah.
That car.
Abe Lincoln, space, dinosaur.
All right, Mozart, would you read the second anonymous question, the long one?
Yes. Me and my brother do not get along. I'm a Christian and my brother is the opposite. He wears makeup, paints his nails, and identifies as bisexual. My parents feel like they raised him the wrong way. He is 16, but he moved in with his friends because he says we mentally abuse him. My parents did nothing wrong, yet he just leaves. I'm afraid he'll go to hell. I don't feel comfortable sharing a room with him if he comes back. He treats me like crap, yet expects me to treat him perfectly. He cries and has a panic attack when we have to go to church. He hates our old church because it teaches against everything he likes. I don't know how to handle him if he's so different.
Thoughts, Brandy?
Well, I would say I'm not religious now, but I did grow up in the church. My mom was a Sunday school teacher, and I think it's very important. This is, I think, a really good test of your Christian upbringing in a lot of ways. You know, treat others how you want to be treated. Don't judge your brother for his decisions, and don't try to change him. Just love him for what he is and how you can support him to be the best version of that. I think that's really important. Like, as a Christian, you're going to meet a lot of people around the world that are going to be different from you, and it's your job to take Christ's love and give it towards others. So I think it's important to find ways to love your brother and accept him and not try to change him.
Very well said. Anyone?
Oh.
Go ahead, Moats.
Yeah, he's your brother, and him being bisexual doesn't affect you in any way.
No.
He's not hurting you. He's not pushing his beliefs onto you. He's just being who he is, and that makes him happy. And your family's beliefs, they were raised that way, so that's what they feel is right. And regardless of whether it is or it isn't, he is their son, and they should love him for who he is, and so should you, because he's your brother. And like I said, what he's doing isn't affecting you, and he's leaving because you're pushing him away and you're judging him and you're saying he's going to go to hell and he's wrong. He's messed up. He's not normal because he does all this stuff. And it's like, guys can wear makeup and paint their nails. It doesn't affect anything. I think society has this like distorted thing where guys can't wear like dresses or skirts. They can't paint their nails and they can't, do all that stuff. But I think we're making a really good step in the direction where we're kind of crushing that. It's still a big issue, but it's gotten a lot better. But basically what I'm saying is, he's your brother. You should love and accept him for who he is because he's not hurting you. Josh.
Yeah, I just want to confirm what you said. Your parents did nothing wrong. They are who they are. And I think you also, right now, you're trying to follow in their footsteps when you're a separate person. So you have a choice of what you want to believe and what you, I don't know where I'm supposed to look, sorry. Which one do you want to? I know what you're gonna believe, and I think that moving forward, you can just be and know that whatever you choose for yourself is right for you. Victoria.
Okay, so there's this verse in the Bible. It says, "Do not pluck the speck from your brother's eye if you have a plank in yours." So you may be only seeing that one thing that's outside of him. And you don't know how much junk you have inside of yourself. So don't judge him for that. And you should fix yourself first before you try to fix anybody else. Plus, he doesn't need much. He doesn't need any fixing. He's his own person. And if he chooses not to love God, you can't make him. So that's just going to push him even further away. He may eventually find him. So I feel that you should just leave this alone. You can pray for him, and hopefully he finds him. So.
Well, I'm very distracted by the visual of you having a plank in your eye. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I want to help. I do want to help, but I think if you're a kid and you're growing up in a very Christian household, and you're by society standards straight, you don't understand why someone else in your family isn't. And it's hard enough being a kid, but imagine being a kid who he didn't choose that lifestyle. It chose him. That's just who he is.
Yes.
And so your parents have this belief that they must be doing something wrong because they have only a narrow-minded view of the world. You're going to side with your parents because they're your parents and they're the center of your universe, and you didn't have any instincts to paint your nails or to like guys or to want to wear feminine things, so you don't understand why he's doing it. But what if your parents are your parents? You're going to love them regardless, but you don't have to side with them. You can love your brother regardless, and you can stay in the middle. And he's not a threat to you if he shares a room with you. He's only angry at you because he feels so unaccepted.
Yeah.
And if you felt this unaccepted in your own household, you would run away too. So he needs you, and just say, "Look, bro, I got your back. I get you." And I promise that would repair your relationship with your brother. Maybe not with your parents, with his parents, but keep things between you and him good.
Yeah.
And you'll
he needs a friend.
He needs a friend, exactly right now.
Yeah, because if anything, because he's bi, he needs your love and support much more than he would need if he was straight. Because, gay people have a lot harder time in the world because of how they are, and it's not their fault. Like she's saying, it chose you, but if anything, he needs you more than he would if he wasn't like this. So yeah.
And I think it's important, like, you can find the compassion and understanding in yourself that you want to emulate from God and from Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, however that manifests in him, like maybe he doesn't believe in that specifically, but everybody has their own kind of spirituality. Like everybody has something that gets them out of bed in the morning. And I think your parents are maybe so upset because a lot of parents of gay or bisexual kids, they react and it's from a place of fear. You know, it's because they see the way their world treats their kid. And unfortunately, as opposed to giving that child the compassion that they need and being the example that they want to see in the world, they react in fear, basically just like that's the way the world is going to treat them. So be an example to your parents. Be the example, lead your parents. Like that's an amazing lesson.
And they also may worry about how the rest of the church world is going to see them if they have a gay child. And so,
exactly.
But you can be the beginning of a new day for your church where it's more open-minded, more accepting of all different types of people, because it's just the way God makes us, and you can't really redo what God did. Why would you try it, Victoria?
And also, there are if he doesn't like that specific church, there are churches that accept that.
Yeah.
I go to a church that accepts that, and let me tell you, all of them are very close to God, and just because they're different doesn't mean that their beliefs are going to be different.
Excellent. All right. Josh, would you read the next anonymous question?
Sure. I'm turning 12 and me and my best guy friend are going to date secretly. So how do I date secretly?
You don't?
Don't do that.
Dun,
That's a
dun, dun.
bad idea.
Yeah, I think that exactly what our guest said, don't do that. It's just going to cause a lot of stress between you and your parents, and then when you actually want to date, you're going to have some roadblocks.
Yeah, if you actually care about somebody, you don't want a relationship to start from a lie.
And you're 12, so
and
you
you're
have
12.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I got some time.
Yeah, hang out with all of your friends. Go out like in groups, and you guys can hold hands together. But like, don't. I don't even know. 12. Play Pokemon 1-on-1. I don't know what you do when you're 12.
I mean, I was doing that in high school. So
Yeah.
I don't know what they do.
I'm 32. I don't know anything. It's fine.
I think that kids want to use the term dating because it sounds like a grown up or it's official. But like if you're not allowed to date, I think that you can just call it crush buddies. Like we agree that we like each other, and why does it have to have a different label until we both have permission to have a different label? Because you're going to slip up and then you'll lose trust.
Yes.
You lose your parents' trust, and there's nothing you can. It takes a long time to build that back. You can lose it in a heartbeat, and it could take a year to build it back. So no secrets, Josh.
I mean, if you really want to date this person, I would suggest just being open and not trying to do a secretive relationship, and just let your parents know like you feel like you're ready at this point in time, and see what they say.
I would also definitely, your parents don't say date. Just be like, I have a crush on this
Yeah.
boy.
He likes me too.
I want to date.
Yeah. Date is like very adult.
Hashtag crush buddies.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Okay, well, just so you know, the longer you wait, the better. Not so much the better, but the longer you wait, the more mature you're going to be, and the more you can make your own decisions, and you're not going to be tied down with unnecessary peer pressure. And you're still learning. So I personally would wait, but of course, you're your own person, so you can try, but don't I wouldn't do it in secret, because then you're going to lose your parents' trust, and they're not going to allow you to date till you're 30.
Yeah, I would say, going off what Victoria said, like really just try to focus on yourself. Like, you are still developing as a person, and when you get into a relationship or into a crush buddy, even crush buddy at that age, like if you're starting to get really attached to each other and really be with each other at a lot, you start to grow together, and then part of your identity, like, you don't even know, because you're forming it with that other person as well. Like I waited a very long time to actually get into a relationship, and then when I did, even though I was older, it still happened. Like, my identity, like, part of it is that person now, and that's what's going to happen too. So
Yeah.
It is. But being part of a couple is a lot of work. You have to put a lot of energy towards it because that other person, what they want in their life, in their day, in their moment, it factors into all of your decision making. And so I say wait to date. I'm just a big fan of that.
Hashtag wait to date.
Hashtag wait to date.
And
Victoria.
I just wonder sometimes, like, do they actually see that lasting so long? Because
you know what? She just
they're
wants.
only 12.
She's not thinking about lasting. She's thinking about having this experience of like having someone that you can brand boyfriend will make her just feel loved. And a lot of kids, if they're not getting enough attention at home from their parents, those are the kids that want to date sooner. Yeah, because they just need to be very special to someone, and we all humans need that. So I mean, I totally get it, but the very reasons that make kids date young are the same reasons that should make them not. Because they would choose the wrong people if they're not getting enough love and attention from their own parents.
Also, if it's like your best guy friend, like it's important. I think it's very more important when you're that age to have friends of both genders and learn how to like be able to communicate with them as equals and as friends. Yeah. You know, I still have guy friends from that age, that time in my life. I don't have, I'm not friends with any of my exes. So, you know, you can't make old friends, which is the thing you can't do.
Yeah.
You know,
I like that.
And it's really important to have those relationships in your life, the friendships.
Yeah, the people that you grew up with. And so you can give us a call if you have an opinion on any of these subjects. We are at 888-531-7171. And you can download the Journals app. It's called Journals Network. It's in the App Store. You can join our community. And we would love to know you better, so please do that. We have another question from Anonymous, Victoria. Oh, no, you're the one that doesn't like to read. Okay. Do you have a script, Brandy?
Yeah.
Would you like to read the last anonymous question?
On the first page,
On the first page,
me and my friend have been best friends for over 3 years, and I'm really mean to her, but I want to stop. How? When I'm mean to her, I feel good, but soon after, I feel like crap. I used to pinch her, and she would talk to me about it, but I would not care. I can't stop, but I want to so badly.
You just stop.
Stop.
Does anyone get, though, like, before we just tell her to stop, like, does anyone get, like, where this is coming from?
Yeah.
Because I'm curious.
I don't.
Usually I can tap into the energy behind something, but I'm not
wondering,
quite getting it yet.
I don't necessarily know the source of why she's doing the behavior.
Why she enjoys it.
Well, here's the thing.
She gets
like,
a high out of it.
Everyone does, like, she's getting a payoff, and obviously the payoff's getting a high from it. And, like, that, I don't know why she's getting the high from it. However, the reason why she can't stop or won't stop is because she is getting that. Like, she's going to have to find another outlet for that, getting that high from something else. Be more productive. Go to the park. Do something, like, other than bullying your friend. And frankly, like, you call her your friend, but if you're doing this, I don't really see this as a friendship. Victoria?
Okay, it could be like a really like long relationship with them, and they create this sister kind of bonding. I like to make my sisters mad sometimes, so I get that.
Can you describe the feeling? Does it make you feel powerful?
I had an argument with my sister about something that was like really dumb, but like once they're mad, you get mad, and no, like it. I don't know what it is, but we just like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it might be a power struggle, supremacy, maybe. That kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's probably a lot of that, and also I think it maybe like, not to get too psychological, but there's a thing called normalizing where you try to make the world around you. Basically, the thing that was done to you, you try to do it to other people to try to make that thing that happened to you not bad. That's just how people treat each other. So maybe you were bullied, or maybe your parents do something to you that maybe not pinch you, but like they make you feel bad, and that's just like, well, I'm gonna make somebody else I love feel bad.
Okay.
And then that way, it's not them, your parents making you feel bad. That's just how you show somebody that you love them.
I see.
So I would try to figure out where that behavior comes from and take responsibility for it, because you shouldn't do that to people.
Yeah, when I first read the question, I kind of was like, I didn't interpret it the way you interpreted it, but now that you said that, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But when I first read the question, so it says, I used to pinch her and she would talk to me about it, but I would not care. It's like, I can't stop, but I want to. It's kind of the difference between being a decent person and just like, I don't want to say like being a bad person, but what's socially acceptable? Like, you know, the saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Mhm.
And I feel like that kind of might apply to the situation, because it's like you may feel like you want to do something mean, and I'm sure we've all done that. Like if your boss is being mean to you, I'm sure you'd want to like slap him, but you wouldn't slap him because it's not like a decent thing to do.
Oh, I would slap him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, well that's
Teasing.
you.
Teasing. Victoria.
Okay, so I did this whole like I heard this seminar thing, and it says like the only thing that's holding you back from that one situation, if you like say what is holding you back from it, it's really that word. It like if you don't for example, if you don't have enough money to do a certain project, you don't have enough money, so you find a way to make that money. Like that, the word not having enough money would be just the obstacle that isn't actually physically there. If you can't grab it, like it's not physically there holding you back from it. If money was like holding you back, that's not physically doing that. So like for this, I can't stop, that's just that one word that's holding her back from not doing it. So all you have to do is just stop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Put a rubber band on your wrist, and every time you want to pinch your friend, snap it on your wrist. Pinch yourself when you want to pinch her.
Yeah.
Another
know?
suggestion would be that you do, if it's an addictive behavior, you do want to kind of replace it. You don't want to leave a vacuum. So like when you feel the urge to harm her, compliment her.
Yeah.
Fill it with something positive and see how that makes you feel, to go out of your way to make someone feel good. Like, oh, your hair looks really cute today. Or like, you're so funny the way you say things. I love the way you say things. Josh?
Yeah, kind of going off of what Victoria said, I really, like, I agree with her in, like, a lot of like, words are very powerful. And, like, one of the things that I noticed from your question, like, you did use the word but, and a lot of times, like, there are words that relate to separate things, and the word but is very disempowering. So when you use that word, like you said, in particular, I'm really mean to her, but I want to stop. Like, I would just challenge you to put the word and there, and it really separates the connection between the two, because honestly, those two things are not related. Like, you are mean to her and you want to stop. Like, that gives you the option to put in front of you, like, what you can do to stop that behavior.
And she does use the word but in here. She says she would talk to me about it, but I would not care. So the but is, maybe that's what's stopping her, or that's her excuse.
Yeah.
Because the question is, why don't you care? And what can we do to help you be a more caring person? Yes, Brandy.
Also, like, don't make yourself a victim here. And that's what a lot of what this sounds like. It very much is like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't stop doing it. Empower yourself with your choices. Be like, no, I am bigger than this. I am better than this. And be bigger and better than this. Don't think that this has control of you. Like, nothing has control of you unless you let it have control of you.
That you wrote the question means that you can stop.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's not like you're a sociopath. You wrote this question. You do care.
Yeah, you feel something.
You're right. You feel something. That's right.
Yeah, it's literally just the action of you want to pinch her, and then you go, no.
Yeah.
You look so pretty. Compliment her.
Yeah, exactly.
You look so pretty.
When you're not crying, when I don't pinch you.
Yeah.
You look so pretty.
Mozart, could you read the question from Jessica Loves Her Besties?
Yes,
Oh,
I
her
can.
again.
Wow, John. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. My boyfriend and I broke up today, and I asked him out again just now, and he said, can I at least have an hour to think? Is this weird to you? He said he loves me, but if he did, why does he need to think about it?
I mean, I would just question, like, every week is like this, you have issues with him, and at the same time, like you're saying, why does he need to think about it? Well, it's not normal for people to break up in a relationship continuously, or to have fighting constantly. So my constant advice is, like, really take a look at the relationship, and is this benefiting you healthily, or healthfully?
No,
I chose the wrong word there. But
Healthfully or healthfully. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
Healthily.
You get it.
There-
And at the end of the
Got it.
day, like, I really want you to focus on you, because a lot of the questions you submit have to do with another person.
What was the last question? Do you remember it?
About the boyfriend?
What was it?
I don't exactly remember.
I
just
don't
know it's
remember exactly, but I get what Josh is saying. Like, even if you only read this question, you would say to yourself, like, well, why should he just agree to being jerked around?
Yeah.
If that's what you're doing, it's like, oh, I need to control his feelings at every moment. I can't understand
Yeah.
why I'm not able to control his feelings right now. well, maybe he just needs a break from this roller coaster, because if that's what's making you feel good about yourself, that this guy is just you're saying jump and he's saying how high, Brandy.
Well, also like at that age, when you are like continually breaking up and getting back together, it's because you want to force somebody to say they love you over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know, it is just you being like, I need to be in a state of drama, like that.
Yeah.
And you need to find a way to like nip that in the bud now, because being dramatic your entire life is exhausting. It looks bad on the skin. There's like, and it will make you a toxic person that people don't want to be around.
And I think like adding on to what she said is just really like nip it in the butt and really like be communicative to him and just say like if it is what you're saying, like if it's not, he's not saying like that he is affectionate towards you enough, so just ask him to be more affectionate. However, like breaking up with him just to be like less than an hour later wanting to get back together, that isn't like healthy.
No.
So Mozart.
Yeah, like you broke up and you want to get back together on the same day. My question is like, why did you break up in the first place if you just wanted to get back together with him? Because if you break up, it's usually for a reason.
Yeah.
So it's very confusing for me, because you break up and then you want to get back together, but why did you break up in the first place? And then why do you want to get back together with him if you broke up with him for a reason in the first place? And who broke up with who?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. And so and just really I want you to change your relationship to breaking up as well, because breaking up is really a last resort. Like for me in my relationships, like I did everything I could to avoid breaking up with a person, and it sounded like it was just really quick to you. So I also want you to look at this person for yourself. Is this really someone you see yourself with, or is it someone just to fill the space while you're like you need like to fill that love from? Do you actually care about them is my question.
Yeah.
if you keep breaking up with them, then you really shouldn't be with them. You should be with somebody who you don't want to break up with, that you want to be with. So my advice is, if this relationship, if this is like a pattern, if this is something that keeps happening, it shouldn't keep happening. It should just be done, because there's a point where it's dead and it's not there anymore, and there's really nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Like, if he's the one who broke up with you, don't try to force him back with you, because that you can't control someone else's life. And yeah,
I think that if we're going to answer your last question, which I always try to do, why does he need to think about it? The answer is because he knows this is unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he may love you with all his heart, but still know that this is unhealthy. This pattern that you're getting yourselves into of being very dramatic and getting these highs and lows, and then craving, forcing yourself into a low because you crave the high that comes from getting back together. So maybe both of you need to take a step back from this and think about what you both want and what's healthy. Because I like what Josh said about, hey, before you break up, why not say, oh, I'm really angry. Can we talk tomorrow? Because breakup, I need to break up with you, should not be your go-to place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't
be
be
a
like
roll off the tongue
that shouldn't
that
be the
easily.
arsenal in your gun.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever want to, because it's shooting someone with a bullet. So don't use it unless you want that to be over forever.
Yeah, I think it's important to think about your relationships like they're an expensive vase, and that you want to put a lot of thought into spending the money to get into one, or just spending the emotional energy to get into one. And then if it breaks, you can only put it back together so many times before it loses value completely.
It's not a card you can relentlessly play.
No,
It just it should be like one time only, and that's kind of like why people get married. Because hopefully by the time you're old enough to get married, it's just like, oh wow, so we really mean this.
Mm-hmm.
We really, 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 really mean this. I mean, there's a preacher here and a whole bunch of our friends and stuff. So, and then people give a lot of thought to whether or not they should ever break up.
When you're really in love with somebody, it's not dramatic either. Like you it's just like my Mozart said, like you want to be with that person and you don't want to, it isn't dramatic. It's easy. When you're really in love with somebody, it's so much easier than every relationship before it.
Yeah. And when you find that relationship, you go, oh,
That's exactly what you should do. You go,
I get it.
Oh.
It's supposed to be like easy.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
You
Victoria.
shouldn't want to hurt the person.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that much. Like, I get it if you were mad or anything, but you like you said about the bullets, you don't shoot the person like and expect them to come alive again. Like that's not it.
Yeah,
So
it's not
it's
healthy.
not
I mean,
realistic.
humans are complicated, and we do find ourselves in toxic relationships to work out whatever we need to work out. But if you can work that out at your age, then you'll have healthier relationships when you get older.
Yes.
And that's what you want to work towards. Next question from Anonymous is it bad to tell someone if someone is talking about them behind their back? Oh, that's such a good question.
This is a good question.
It is a good question.
I feel like it all depends kind of on the situation, but don't tell somebody if you're telling them to start trouble. You know, somebody could maybe have been like venting to somebody about this person and you overheard it. That's fine. We all need to vent. If it's something that is going to get back to them in a bad way that's going to hurt them, they should have a little bit of heads up. But like, don't tell them just to be like, can you believe that this person said this about you? Do not do that. That's not worth it.
Yeah, I feel like if they're saying stuff that's untrue and they're like spreading rumors or something, then that would be a good option. Not a good option. That would be the right time to tell you. You get what I'm saying. That would be the right instance. That would be the right instance to tell them that somebody's talking behind their back. But if it's something nice, you know, if it's something that's not really important or it's irrelevant, don't bother. But if it's like untrue, if it's mean, maybe you should tell them just so that they know.
Yeah, again, I'm going to agree with Brandy and just be like, I really think that in this situation, like, just really gauge what's happening. And if this person, like, I've been in situations where this person is completely, like, blindly, like, following this other person, and then this person is, like, as soon as, to their face, like, being nice and all sweet, and then, like, to turn around, and then they say awful things. So in that situation, I would say, yeah, go ahead and say something, because it also, like, you know, it's going to bother you, and will you regret it at the end of the day not saying something? But if it's something like you said, where you just overhear someone venting, or like you're across the room and you hear someone here and you don't even know the people, just let it be. I think just mind yourself and like know when it's your place to step in.
Like, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, I just wanted to say that sometimes we get addicted to the drama. You can't wait to be the person to tell someone something that's going to hurt their feelings. So really think about whether or not it's something they need to know, or whether or not, because it's much better to stand up when they're not there and you hear them being talked about and you say in that moment, I really don't appreciate you saying those things about Cynthia because I think she's perfectly nice. That's when you can stick up for your friend and then never even tell her that you had to have that conversation.
Exactly. I think it's really important to be aware of like not giving power to the person who is saying stuff. Like, because basically, and also like to that point, definitely defend your friends when you're in the person's face. But then also, if you have something that you need to tell your friend, also have a plan to go with it. Don't just be like, oh, this person said this about you. Ooh. Like, be like, hey, I'm sorry, that was wrong. This is how it was wrong. That person, and then that person is wrong, and just make sure you were hitting that, and that way your friend isn't left wondering if this thing is true or something they should worry about. Like, make sure you were supporting your friend, whatever you do.
And if this is like your friend and they're friends with that person who was talking to them, you can let them know, like, hey, I don't know, like, I feel weird about this person, so maybe we shouldn't hang out with them. You know what I mean? Like, I've had to do that before. So it's like, I understand that it's really hard to, like, break up with a friend or whatever. But, like, you can say hi across the room. You don't have to actually be, like, their friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if they haven't earned it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, some people are just trolls, you
Yeah.
know? And you don't want to feed the trolls.
Yeah.
Don't feed the trolls.
It's really sad.
Josh, can you read the middle question from Anonymous on page 2?
Yeah. So it says, I have a friend who is struggling with depression. I think she hasn't told her parents yet and is too afraid. I really think therapy would be the best for my friend. I think they just need a little help taking that first step forward. I'm not my friend's parent, so I can't really arrange anything. So how do I help?
Tell her parents.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should
Simple.
you kind of, like, let them know lightly. Like, instead of being like, your daughter has depression, be like, I think your daughter has depression, or your friend has depression, and I'm just letting you know this. Don't explain to them I'm not naming it. Don't own it. You know what I mean? You don't want to own it, or else because it's just like any sickness. If you say, oh, this person has depression, and you tell them, and then they're going to be like, I feel the depression kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, we adopt it all the time.
Right. Suggestion.
Yeah.
So just say, I think she has depression or he has depression. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I've been in a situation with similar to this, and I had to step in, and I know what you're going through too. Like, you're worried, like, what your friend's gonna think and what they're gonna make it mean about you, and like, are you still gonna be able to be friends, and like, all that's going through your head. And I really want you to know, like, if you care about this person, that at the end of the day, like, it matters that they see another day, like, and so that even if that isn't with you, like, they may very well be mad at you that you told their parents. However, they will come to a point where they actually respect that you told their parents. And also, I want to just add to, I've said on the show before, I really think that if your friend's depressed, like, they're not fully there for you right now. And not that they're not your friend, but it's not necessarily a friendship, because their emotional capabilities are going somewhere else right now. And you're invested in them in a way that they're not necessarily invested in you right now. Not because they don't want to, but because there's something else in their life distracting them. Mm-hmm. So I just really want you to be present to that, and also create the space where a friendship can blossom again. Brandy?
I also think it's important to like understand that your friend might be feeling a lot of shame about thinking that they're depressed. And like, there's no shame to being depressed or having anxiety. Like, these are things that are chemical. These are things that are based on events that have happened in your life that you don't have any control over. What you do have control over is finding ways to fix it. You know, and so therapy is not a shameful thing to go do. Therapy shows you how your brain works. The human brain is an insane, weird mystery. And there are these awesome doctors that learn how it works, and you can go and talk to one. And that's a beautiful thing that the majority of the people in the existence of humanity have not been able to do. Like, your friend lives in an amazing time where they shouldn't be judged for getting the help that they need. And like, try to just empower your friend to that decision, and to see this isn't a shame, because shame just will self-fulfill the depression.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just tell her parents, I think Cynthia, just throwing out a name here, I think Cynthia might be depressed. I don't fully know what's going on, but it would be something really good for you to look into. She doesn't even have to know that it was you who told her parents. Like, they could have just been like, we noticed that you're, you've been down lately, is there anything going on that you want to talk to us about? Like, this doesn't even have to go back to you at all. Mm-hmm. And I think the best possible thing that you could do for her, or him, have we identified a gender? I don't know. Is tell the parents, because that's really the only way that they're going to get the help they need.
Okay. I know it's hard to have your friend hate you, but like, if they find out, like, if like you've told their parents, and they get mad at you for that or whatever, I would rather my friend hate me and them be okay at the end than them doing something that's not going to be helpful to them.
Right. So we tend to separate the mind as being something that we should allegedly have control over, but it's still all part of the body. So if your friend falls down a ski slope, you're going to run for help. And so any kind of depression or anorexia or cutting or anything that they're doing that's dangerous, you run and tell somebody. Mm-hmm. And that's just what you do.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say we're all assuming that her parents or his parents are supportive.
Yeah.
If they're not,
it may be tricky.
Go to your guidance counselor.
Yeah.
And your guidance counselor can help you find the resources that you
that's
need.
what I did. So
yeah.
All right.
Guidance counselor.
Mm-hmm.
So we have maybe 7 minutes. Which of the remaining questions would you guys like to address? Because there's some good ones here. The kissing one?
Well, there's just two.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite? Showering or kissing?
I'm not.
If you're gonna make me pick,
I legally will not answer that.
Let's go to the studio audience. Let's go to the studio audience. I'm going to pick the kissing question. Just because kissing is like the best to talk about. All right. So it says, when you kiss someone for the first time, will it most likely suck? Well, if you're doing it right.
Oh my god.
And is it true and is it true that your lips will get bigger after you kiss for a little bit? I love the crap kids tell each other.
I know.
How awesome is that rumor?
I mean,
It's hilarious.
it depends.
Half the time your first kiss will suck, and half the time it won't. Like it really depends.
There's no half the time in anyone's lifetime because there's
No,
only
I
one
mean like
first kiss.
in general
Yeah.
of like.
No,
I mean
there's a
half.
first kiss with every relationship.
So you'd
But
have
that's
to
not
like
what they're
50%
talking
of people.
about.
First kiss ever. Well, I will say, I think if you wait for your first kiss to be with somebody that you actually care about, it won't suck because you care about the person, and whatever it is will be great.
Yeah, I mean, it could be weird and funny.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
it won't
weird.
be perfection.
Yeah.
But it could still be something, a warm memory.
It's your imperfection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely weird.
Beautiful,
probably.
Victoria. That was beautiful.
So doesn't it, I mean, I don't have to ask for first kiss stories if you're not willing to
I
share them,
mean,
but
if you're pushing.
I am Josh.
Josh, we're pushing.
First kiss story, Josh.
Oh, okay. I mean, like you said, the weirdness was about to share, but yeah, I was like in the middle of, I don't know, probably the flu, and like I just ate applesauce and sushi. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
Why did we push?
And someone wanted to kiss you?
You ate sushi
Yeah,
on
I
the
know,
flu.
right?
Another human wanted to kiss you?
Right? So it must have been real. It must have been really real. And yeah, and I, like she said, I ate sushi on the flu, and that didn't turn out well either. But overall,
And applesauce.
that's what I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. So be careful. Be
There you
careful.
go.
But it was okay. It's okay.
Right. I think the first kiss is usually not someone that special, just cause.
Yeah.
Unless you. Yeah.
So yeah.
Mine still hasn't happened yet. I've been living with my boyfriend for 5 years, so someday.
Well, you guys will know when you're ready. You
I'm
guys
joking.
will
my
know.
face just let.
I know your face is like, what?
your
You
face.
guys will know.
Your face is like you cannot hide your emotions at all, Josh.
Comedian.
You just
Comedian.
can't.
All right,
Comedian.
Let's get to the rumor part of it because I kind of love it.
Uh-huh.
Is it true that your lips will get bigger after you kiss for a little bit? I would say like
They might get swollen.
They could get
I mean,
swollen if you
but
kiss.
like-
if
It
you-
depends on
it's
how
a
you're
big
kissing.
Makeout session, then your lips will get swollen.
Don't kiss a bee.
Don't But yeah, no, it doesn't make doesn't make your lips bigger.
No.
Not over time.
Like
maybe
you
like
build up
immediately.
the lip muscle, you know.
Yeah.
You
It's
can
like
do certain
those.
exercises.
It's like those lip things, you know, that you can suck. It's like the Kylie lip Jenner.
Oh, don't do that.
Kylie
Yeah.
Lip Jenner?
Oh, yeah,
Don't
those
do that.
Kylie Jenner
Kylie
lips. Don't do that. Yes.
Don't do that.
Wait, what did she do?
Okay, so
started-
basically
yeah.
you
Oh, boy.
put like either like a shot glass or some sort of
It was a
cup
shot glass.
on your. Well, it depends.
the
Some
thing.
people do cups.
It depends, like
Yeah.
who's doing it, but you
Which
can
is
put a
really
Kylie Lip
like
Jenner.
on there, and you suck, so it vacuums out the air, and basically it just you leave it on there for an
It makes
extended
all
period
the
of
blood,
time,
like, rush
and
to
it
your
brings
lips.
blood to your lips,
Bigger.
and when you take it off, like you basically your lips have been damaged to the point where they're just like plop. And yeah,
Yeah. That
Wow.
won't happen when you're kissing.
no,
she
It
did-
shouldn't
Hopefully.
happen when you're kissing.
if it happens,
If it happens, go see a doctor.
yeah. What you're doing is not kissing.
correct.
So, and it's not necessarily some sort of beauty ideal to have big puffy lips. If they look damaged, I mean, you look the way you look.
Well,
and-
this was like a thing. Like you put a shot glass. Like
Wait,
it
did
was
she
like
do
a
it on
thing.
TV? Did she do it on the Kardashian show so that people
No,
watched her do
she
that?
did it on her social media, and then
Yeah.
everybody followed. Like it's kind of like the cinnamon challenge or other
Yeah,
challenges.
it was like that, like the
happen,
Charlie
I think
Charlie
she was-
challenge.
She was
Mhm.
trying to get it to the point where people would think that that's what she does to get her lips like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know
When
how it
she-
started.
It ends up being though, like people were actually like rupturing their lips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
It was
I
really
saw
bad.
I saw this one photo, and like the lip had just like, cause like a glass,
Yeah.
shot glass, just like it had cut so deep it like it ripped the
Mhm.
Yeah.
skin and everything.
and
Yeah.
it's irreversible damage too. Like
Really?
that's
Yeah,
not
some people are
something
getting
that-
bruises all the way around here.
So can we
Yeah.
have like a class action suit against Kylie Jenner?
Can we see
I
a
would love
picture?
that. I would
Oh,
love
Let's
that.
show a
oh my
picture.
gosh,
Yeah,
don't do-
Matt, do you
Oh,
have a
yeah.
picture of
Show
Kylie
a
Jenner?
picture of a
No.
Kylie lip Jenner challenge gone wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Gross. I'm not looking.
Gone wrong.
I know, gone wrong.
Yeah, I mean, my friend did it, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you do not look okay.
Do
Let's not
not.
do that again."
I-
There's some people, their lips come out like so
Well,
Huge.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if they had kept it on like any second longer, their lips would be gone.
Yeah.
Was she trying to give fashion advice? Was she trying to be controversial?
No.
Was she,
No, I
what
think it was just
she-
for herself.
She's
There,
just.
there you go.
Person.
Is that
She
her?
was trying to.
yeah, that's
oh
it.
my
Wow.
god.
That's not
That
her.
hurt.
but
That's not her.
That's one of them that didn't end
That-
up very well.
Yeah,
at
went too
her.
far.
It's like we're all lining up to kiss this person, right? So don't do
That's
that.
what's gonna happen when you kiss someone.
Don't
Just
no.
kidding. no, don't do
Exhibit
that.
A.
Exhibit.
Don't do that.
Don't kiss a bee. Don't kiss a bee. Don't kiss a shot glass. Just be yourself. If
Yeah.
someone
Just
loves
Let me
you,
try right now. Let
yourself.
me see if it
Mhm.
works.
if
Just
someone
be
loves you,
yourself.
they're gonna
Oh!
just kiss you.
I'm gonna try right now.
Oh no. Oh no.
Tune in next week.
Do you have anything that you would like to say before and lovely parting words?
I will quote RuPaul.
Okay.
And say, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Mhm.
We are Journals Out Loud, and we will see you next week. Thank you. Bye bye.